Howdy folks, how y'all doing? It is Halloween night here in the Halloween in the West. I guess it's November 1st here. It's 11 p.m. I was going with the van up to the mountain. I closed a little early because I had 0 customers all day. And I went through a puddle that wasn't more than half to the tire deep, and it killed the vehicle. I'm hoping when it dries out I can start it again, but because it's automatic I couldn't do the whole push start, and I died about 1.6 kilometers away from home. And as you see, I am beat tired, so I just spent an hour and change with the help of a small Filipino guy pushing it back. I paid him in beers because I didn't have any money. I'm broke, but I got inventory, so yeah, I am dead freaking tired, and I know tomorrow I'm going to be sore. I hope it dries out and it starts up again. It still turns over, but it doesn't want to fire. So obviously when you have a mid-engine vehicle where the engine's at the back, this will be a van video, by the way. I'll be posting van in the title. It can't handle a whole lot of wetness. Probably with my luck, the alternator and all that shit's probably sitting in the lower end of the motor just to make it extra incompatible with the local climate. So that was my first learning experience. And here I had little tunes going with the cordless speaker, you know, and it's got a full tank of gas. And now the lights work and the wipers work, and we're having a big cyclone tomorrow. So I don't think it's going to dry it out any. But I thought, I'll go up to the mountain, I'll pick up the fam, I'll have some good, you know, all those Eve eats, and come on back. But I guess it just wasn't meant to be. So now I am dead tired. I cashed in some of my empties to buy 2 beers for myself of the cheap stuff because I can't drink my own because I only have premium beers left. But so that was my evening with the van. So I guess I can caution anybody who owns these vans, since it's a lower engine back of the vehicle in the trunk, it can't handle any deep puddles. It can't handle the rain. And it's a 4x4, so I thought, you know, whatever, I guess it can handle mud. But even then I'm saying to myself, would it be able to handle mud, or would mud not go into the same components that obviously can't handle water? And I didn't want to keep turning it over and drain the battery because I don't have a battery charger or any connections to one here. So it's back in my street. I pushed it all the way down the main highway, then into my barangay, and down the few blocks and over the few blocks. And so always an adventure. Always an adventure. So if it doesn't start, I'm gonna have to figure out what got wet, take it apart, and try and manually dry it. But if it's an electronic component that's fucked, I'll have to find one used, a record or something, But the fact that it turns over means it's not the starter, or the solenoid, or the fuel pump. Although maybe it is the fuel pump, hence it's turning over but not firing. I'll do a test on that tomorrow, or whenever it's dry. I'll give it a few days of just sitting there, dry it out. Maybe I'll push it into my actual compound area for Monday, Tuesday, since I'm not open anyway, so there's no need for that area as a seating area. And I have a bit of a lean-to with the building and the balcony, so that might help it stay drier, you know. But so that's my evening in a nutshell. Sucks too, because like I said, I reloaded the stick with some choice cruising at night tunes. I was really looking forward to that, cruising at night. Simple things bring me happiness now, but it's not allowed. And then I got a few people who asked me for orders from the expat club, which is nice because they weren't really supporting so far. Any business is good business. And they asked, do you deliver? I was like, yep. I mean, I can still deliver on the bike, and I know the bike handles the rain because when I left my phones in that Australian's car, that first attempt at getting the fridge, I bombed out there, and it was raining hard. And I behaved enough to not wipe out, but barely, right? And I was soaked when I came back, and the bike handled it. So it's a kickstart. So I guess, well, no matter what, I'm not totally mobile-less, but yeah. So if you own one of these little multi-cabs, know that they are not water-friendly or even remotely water-resistant. Um, that being said, I did get it home. It was incredibly light to push. I mean, I've honestly owned motorbikes back home that weighed more than this van, I think. So my arms will be sore tomorrow, maybe my legs too, but I wouldn't be able to push my Escalade home like that with the Suburban. I mean, I can't move the Suburban around the lot or the Escalade by myself. I have to get one of my sons to help me, or I get a tire in another car and push it around, right? So the fact that I can push this guy with a tiny, like 90-pound Filipino dude at the back helping, I was steering outside the car, still pushing, window open, that old school style for those folks who know that way of doing things. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to eat. I guess I made a pot of rice that we bought from him. So I guess I'll eat one of my last chilies and mix it with the rice, and that's my dinner before I sleep. I'll go to bed early. Well, 11:30. It's not really that early, but it's early for me. Because I don't think I'm going to get any customers. There's like nobody on the streets. Like even people passing us with like 2 or 3 motorbikes. It really wasn't even that busy. Everybody is doing family stuff, right? So I'm running into the same thing I ran into last year. If you watch the New Year's and Christmas videos, where it's just not the same as back home. These people do a lot of stuff with their families. They just are not out and about partying. They're not chilling, And there was some girls next door, a few doors down, that were doing karaoke. When I left, when I came back, I was gonna joke around and say, "Hey, I don't like to do some songs today," but they had just finished. Like, "Oh, you come over next time?" Like, yeah, maybe. Trying to be neighborly and all, but I could have definitely used some karaoke actually now, just to relax and chillax, So I got 2 Colt 45s, no zigzags, if you know what I mean, to relax and use last time I empties up. And all the laundry I saved from the rain there, because it did rain really hard for a few hours this evening. It's all dry now, so I guess when she comes back, she'll put it away, or I'll put it away, or whatever. I'm not a full clothes. But yeah, so if you own one of these vans, note to self, they're not very water resistant. And it really wasn't an option. Like the puddle covered the whole road. And like I said, it didn't seem that deep, but it was enough to kill the vehicle. It died just as I got through it. And I was going kind of slow to try and not have it splash up high. Obviously that didn't work. So, and I was in the direction of the mountain, so I had to turn the vehicle around. Originally I had some guy on a trike help me with that. And then I was in front of if you know St. Carlos, in front of the Toyota dealership on the main highway. And I pushed it from there all the way home. So, yeah. Oodles are fun. Oodles are fun. See, if you follow the channel, if you subscribe, if you hit that bell, you're going to get to hear these wonderful stories. And you'd be like, shit, right? Because here's the thing. I mean, you can look at my stories in 2 ways. Either they are, I got a bandage on my finger. They're either what not to do, right? Or what you'll have to do if you're broke-ass motherfucker over here to survive, if you can do it. And you gotta ask yourself, can you do it, right? Some guys don't have the kind of patience. And I admit, I already lost my zen. So I'm quicker to anger, quicker to paranoia, quicker to sadness. I've lost that Vulcan-like grip on my emotions. But I've still got enough emotional control to not let shit like this piss me off enough to put me in a funk. Right? And you got to be able to do that because, over here, it really is, if you're in my situation especially, every day is an adventure. Hence the reason I can successfully, for the most part, vlog every day. And if you're following, you get to follow along. It's like your own personal reality show, right? And like I said, some days it's going to be the what not to do. Some days it's going to be how interesting it is, right? The resilience of this weird guy from Canada. I'm fine with that. It's actually funny because the guy who helped me push recognized me from the 2 times. I only wore my uniform twice in this town, but he recognized me from wearing my uniform around. 1. Two, he recognized me as the guy who walks around with his baby strapped to him. I love it, right? I've been here 60 days in St. Carlos. Not even, maybe 55, 50 days, right? Because I spent the first 2 weeks in Cebu, and I've only been back about 2 months. And already, I'm running into randos on a dead night when nobody's out and about who know who I am here. So I think given a year or two here, I could have some serious inroads. So, and of course, I don't really trash talk the Filipino as a people. I mean, sure, I comment on their business acumen. There's no doubt about that. That's not even me trash talking, that's just keeping it real. But as a people, if I was in Canada and I broke down like that, I don't think anybody would have come to help me unless I was out in the country and it was a good old farm boy, right? If it was in downtown Ottawa or Toronto or something, fuck. I wouldn't have had a single helper. They would be like, call CAA. No, south. When I'm in Canada, I do have CAA. So I could have just called that and be like, come take me home. But we passed by a garage which has a hoist, which I want to get to look at that driver's front wheel bearing, because I think that's a problem, or will be a problem. And they're like, oh, let's put it in there. What's wrong? Like, I can't, guys. First off, he's going to want money, and I ain't got none. And I think that's where, even though I had admitted that to them, they didn't, stop helping me. They helped me push it for another 15 minutes to where we had to be, right? And to get away with a few beers and a few hundred pesos, which was the last of the pesos out of my float. But I don't have customers, so what's the point of having a float, right? I know that even that concept is very weird over here. It's nice because the little soy near me appears to be run by someone that knows what the hell they're doing. Because he's always got a float. I've never went over there and he didn't have change for me, right? And I looked behind his counter because the girls that are there that sit behind the counter, and he's got literally whole tubs of the various currencies, like a primitive style cash register going. So it's fine. I worked a lot on one of the cities tonight. I literally worked on it from 2 in the afternoon until I left at 10 or 9:45. So I'm going to keep working. I'm going to finish that town tonight probably. And then I'll tweak it for visualization and get it ready for a basic printout kind of thing. And I'll add in some maps and check mark, one done, And then I'll look at what I did for those other towns in that same country and try and get that done. So, yeah. So this is a van video. Maybe people won't watch it because of that, who knows. Like I said, I'm going to list each type of video based on what it's for, just to save people from leaving the channel if they get stuck watching a video they don't have any interest in. But if you are someone who owns a 2011 multicab 4x4, this should be instrumental to you understanding that you cannot go out when there is big rainstorms or anywhere there's deep puddles, because even though it's 4x4, it does not have any water resistance. So, follow, subscribe. Please subscribe. I've lost 20 subscribers over the last 3 days. So, again, I think it's probably 1 or 2 people who have a channel who sent me subscribers. Maybe they pulled their support. I don't know, sad grandpa, or maybe, who knows who, right? Which sucks because, hey guys, I promote your channel, why not promote mine, right? And I am entertaining. That's why I joked when I said, where's my subs? Am I not entertaining? And that's a quote from Gladiator, of course. I think I'm immensely entertaining. And I seem to get comments saying I am. So, hey, like I said, if anything, it's like you're subscribing, which costs you nothing, to your own personal reality TV show, right? How much do you pay for your Netflix subscription or your cable TV to watch fake dramatized reality shows, right? So here you got a real one. And if you are thinking of moving over here, I think I'm showing all the realism of what you're going to encounter on a day-to-day basis. Because some of the things I suffer through will be the same thing you'll suffer through with or without money. Because it isn't all rainbows and wishes over here. There is definitely some pitfalls and some tweaking that needs to be done to really have that truly king-like existence. So, thanks for listening. Have yourselves a good evening all. I'm going to finish my one Colt 45 that I have and then work on the book and Go to bed. See ya.